If you're a fan of baseball, you've definitely heard the name Shohei Ohtani, especially in recent years. He's a once-in-a-generation player who both pitches and bats, and does both very, very well. So why would a team ever get rid of a player like that? Well, sometimes they get an offer they can't refuse. Here are the wildest Shohei Ohtani trade proposals for this season. Shohei Ohtani has been making a lot of headlines recently, and for good reasons. In the last few seasons, Ohtani has both won the American League MVP and placed second in voting, and is off to another MVP-worthy start this year. Not to mention, he's breaking lots of records along the way. So, who is this unicorn of a player? Who has been compared favorably to the great Bambino Babe Ruth himself? Shohei Ohtani is a Japanese professional baseball pitcher, designated hitter, and outfielder for the Los Angeles Angels. He signed with the Angels in 2017, after playing in the Nippon Professional Baseball Pacific League from 2013 to 2017, winning the 2016 Japan Series. Ohtani then won the 2018 American League Rookie of the Year award. But what makes him really stand out among the best of the best in the world is his status as an elite two-way player. In 2021, after a few injury-plagued years, Ohtani had a historic season. He became the first player in Major League Baseball history to record 10 or more home runs and 20 or more stolen bases as a batter, while also throwing 100 or more strikeouts in 10 or more pitching appearances in the same season. Not only that, he also held his share of the league lead in home runs. So it's not a surprise that he won the American League Most Valuable Player award for that season. The following season, Ohtani became the first player in the modern era to qualify for both the pitching and hitting leaderboards in one season, hitting the minimum requirements for plate appearances and innings pitched. He didn't win MVP that year, but came in second to Aaron Judge, who set a home run record of his own. And this season, Ohtani looks to be off to another MVP-caliber start. Ohtani led Team Japan to victory at the 2023 World Baseball Classic, and he did it by striking out his teammate Mike Trout, who is a generational player in his own right, to beat Team USA in the final. Just recently, Ohtani made baseball history again by joining Babe Ruth as the only players to ever register 500 career strikeouts as a pitcher and 100 home runs as a hitter. In fact, Ohtani hit 502 career strikeouts, which surpassed Babe's 501, making Ohtani the best of the best for two-way players. So he's breaking records and on his way to being one of, if not the best ball players of all time. He has a teammate in Trout who is also at an elite level. So why the heck are we talking about Ohtani getting traded? I mean, who in their right mind would trade a guy like that? Well, here's the thing. Despite having Ohtani and Trout on their team, the Angels haven't finished above third place in the American League. In fact, they haven't even finished above 500 in a season. While nothing is guaranteed in baseball, it's almost a foregone conclusion that Shohei Ohtani will not be a Los Angeles Angel after this season. The only question is, will he leave via a trade or free agency, which he is slated to enter after this season? And what a free agency it would be. Ohtani's potential free agency is the most anticipated in MLB history, and the amount of money he's set to earn will set records for baseball and possibly all North American professional sports. An insider from the Angels organization told John Heyman of the New York Post that there was a 0% chance they would trade Ohtani during this season. But if the Angels fall out of playoff contention, ESPN insider Jeff Passan speculates that they may not have much of a choice. Even if they hold on to Ohtani through the season, if they miss the playoffs, he's as good as gone. So if the Angels want to take advantage and get whatever they can for Ohtani before he leaves in free agency, what would that look like? Let's take a look at some trade proposals for one of the best baseball players of all time. 3 teams that could land Ohtani are the New York Mets, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the LA Dodgers. Starting with the Mets. For Shohei Ohtani, the Angels would get outfielder Alex Ramirez, shortstops Jeff Williams and Ronnie Mauricio, starting pitcher David Peterson, and utility player Luis Guillorme. The Mets have a new owner, Steve Cohen, who isn't afraid to spend money, He has the biggest payroll in the history of the MLB and seems content to keep spending. And more importantly, he spent a lot of time investing in the team's minor league infrastructure, meaning he has trade options that would allow him to keep his mega prospects. Plus, the offer of several young, solid middle infielders would be very enticing to the Angels. Next up, the Tampa Bay Rays. For Ohtani, the Angels receive infielders Junior Caminero and Cooper Kinney, starting pitchers Shane Baz and Cole Wilcox, outfielder Mason Auer, and a competitive balance pick. The Rays are an excellent ball club. The roster is full of stars. Their offense has scored the most runs this season, and their pitching staff has allowed the fewest en route to a 28-7 record in their first 35 games. However, due to injury troubles, the Rays could definitely use another high-end starting pitcher. Also, their lineup is mostly right-handed hitters, so adding the best left-handed hitter in the American League would go a long way. Perhaps even all the way to becoming the best baseball team of all time. It seems like a great offer, but let's not forget the LA Dodgers. For Shohei, the Dodgers would send the Angels second baseman Michael Busch, outfielders Nick Nastrini and Tracy Thompson, and infielder Rane Donkin. Now, reports say that the Dodgers are the frontrunners for signing Ohtani during free agency, but it would definitely be worth trading for him ahead of time for a couple of reasons. First, the price he'll command in free agency, and second, adding Shohei Ohtani to their roster for the playoffs would significantly increase their odds of winning the World Series. The Dodgers are already an excellent team, with hitters like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, and pitchers such as Julio Urias and Clayton Kershaw. Add Ohtani to those ranks, and the Dodgers may just well be unstoppable. And if they can't trade for him, the Dodgers will probably be content to sign him out of free agency. And In the Know person told ESPN MLB insider Kiley McDaniel that Ohtani wants to and will go to the Dodgers, perhaps after using other teams to drive up his price. And speaking of price, what exactly is an elite record-breaking two-way player going for these days? As it turns out, it's tough to say, as there aren't many precedents to compare Ohtani to. McDaniel spoke to 26 MLB executives, agents, and insiders, and they all made predictions as to what Ohtani's next contract could be. And the prices are staggering. The average guess was over $500 million for 8 years. If it seems incredibly high, it's because it is. But one exec explained it like this: Shohei Ohtani is not one player making $50+ million per year. He is in fact two players each making $25+ million, the pitcher and the hitter. In the meantime, Ohtani will continue to put out amazing numbers in his bid to make the postseason. And just in case he doesn't make it to free agency, you now know the wildest Shohei Ohtani trade proposals for this season.